Let's address this feminine energy. There's a feminine energy that has been adamant, right? Adamant for the longest while on trying to make people bow, trying to make me bow, right? To some entity, to some being, right? To some human messenger, to some person, to some prophet, right? And to some God, right? I don't bow to any of these things all you just bow to, right? I don't bow to any of these beings. Let me just make this clear so you stop this ridiculous thing wherever in the universe that you're functioning from, right? Wherever in the universe you functioning from, right? There's a feminine energy that every second, right, you're making you freaking bow, right? There's a spiritual tormenting energy, right? That keep making you wanna keep making you bow, right? To certain things that you're not supposed to be bowing to, right? So you're just making clear that my belief structure and my knowledge structure of money is monotheism, right? So I don't bow to anything, right? I don't bow to anything in this material world. I never bow to anything in this material world. In the past, right, I would have done what we call arti and bow to my mother and father, my brother, three people I would have bowed to in past years, and I had cut out that as time went by, right? So those were the only three people that I actually physically bowed to in the past, right? And we are moving ahead in time now, and I actually cut off that way before this event, right? So let's just move on from this stupid, ridiculous notion, right? This thing with this feminine energy, there's a feminine energy that keep forcing me, right, to bow to certain people, bow to certain entities, bow to black, bow to black, bow to black, bow to a prophet, bow to white, right? Bow to past, bow to frick, bow to fuck, right? Bow to sing, bow to song, bow to fuck, bow to port, bow to bow to, hey, you know what's a bow to? Like I always said, and I said this privately, right? Bow to your mother's vagina, right? If you want to bow to something, right? Don't make me bow to it because I don't bow to that, right? I respect and appreciate my parenthood, my parents, but I don't bow to anything. And I don't bow to anything anymore. I don't bow to anybody anymore, right? So listen, anybody trying to make me or anyone else bow to white, black, brown, Chinese, anything, right? You need to cease and desist doing this as soon as possible, right? Because when a thing ready to come back and haunt all you now, like, energy come back to haunt all you and make all you bow to shit, right? Stop doing it. If I make it clear to you, I say hey, and I speak this all the time. My belief structure and my knowledge structure is monotheistic in nature, right? Therefore, you can't get me to bow to food, plant, animal thing. People, places, animal thing. I'm not playing boy, girl, people, places, animal thing. Alright? I used to play that. Right? I don't play boy, girl, animal, places, TV show thing. Right? Stop getting me to bow to boy, girl, animal, places, TV show and things. I said stop trying to get me, right, to bow to boy, girl, animal, places and things and TV shows. I said and I repeatedly said that my knowledge structure is monotheistic in nature. Can you respect that? Right? This is that force out that I keep forcing me to bow. Right? I don't need to bow to no black. I don't need to bow to no white. I don't need to bow to nothing. I don't need to bow to no demigod. Right? I don't need to bow to no demigod, black, white, brown, Chinese, nothing. Right? I will just get out clear. I don't need to bow to anybody. I don't need to bow to anything, anybody. And neither do you. So stop forcing people, stop spiritually tormenting people to go down this road of bowing, right? I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I don't respect it, right? Good. I don't like it. I do not appreciate it. I don't respect it. When I say I don't respect it, I don't respect somebody forcing me to bow to something. And I know since I was 7 years old, I had the belief structure of monotheism. And I don't go backward in time. I said I don't go backward in time. Right? Since I was a child, I had the belief structure on monotheism. Right? Save for 1 or 2 experiences of prayers, right? When I bow to my parents or my brother, right? Out of respect during them circumstances. And otherwise, I haven't bowed to anybody else apart from one of the Hindu spiritual teacher out there, right? Or 1 or 2 family members or something. Right? Other than that, I gave up those things long years ago. I've given up those things, given up those things, girl, right? Long years ago. Stop trying to tell people and force people into stupidity, right? Stop trying to force people. I don't care if you're brown, black, white, nothing, right? Stop trying to force anybody into stupidity, right? We're trying to move out of stupidity, not go further and deeper into stupidity, right? I don't bow to no government. I don't bow to nothing, right? I don't bow to anything, right? I said, hey, there's one God, whoever, right? Whatever you choose to call him, right? One that does not associate no imagery, no image, no idol, no face, faceless, imageless, he faceless, imageless God. That's why I bow to. Right? That is why I could say, hey, that's my God. Right? And that is not my God because I know my behind there anyhow. That's God. That's your God, my God, everybody God. God of nature, God of the world, God of the universes. Right? I do not stop this ridiculous spiritual torment of trying to get people, and that's only one element of it. Stop the spiritual torment of trying to get people to bow, 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 bow. Right? Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. That's why I only make my father going back to Krishna worship after he spent his whole life in Vedic thing, right? Before he dead. That's why his soul come back to flipping me, right? Before he dead. That's why the Bhagavad Gita say that knowledge, hey, you worship your ancestor, you go back to your flipping ancestor. All you stupid, right? Read the book, right? Read the book, right? I don't want souls to keep returning to me. You return directly to God. You return directly to God, right? And the person is not God. You return directly to God. Meaning you return to God, you don't reincarnate again, right? That is what monotheism means, right? You're not returning to any ancestral energy form when you die. When they die, you're going directly back to God. So this force, I keep forcing people to bow. You're keeping people trapped in cycles. You're keeping people intentionally trapped in cycles, and you need to stop doing that. Right? The force, the energy that forcing me to bow to this one, bow to a man on the cross, bow to Krishna, bow to this, bow to that, bow to black, bow to white, bow to this, bow to that. Right? You're forcing people to be trapped. Right? And that is something you're forcing me to be trapped now because I have to take on the souls that are coming back to me. And I do not want to take on souls that are coming back to me because it's not my responsibility, right? So when you hear I am monotheist and I'm teaching monotheism, right? I'm teaching monotheism, right? I'm teaching monotheism for a reason, right? Because you worship God, you go directly back to God. You worship me, right? You worship ancestor, you go back to ancestor. You worship spirits, you go back to spirits. You worship a ghost, you go back to ghosts. The figure leaders be trying to get people to worship, right? There's somebody hanging on the cross, it's a spirit, it's a ghost, right? It's a ghost. I don't want to go back to no flipping ghost skill. I'm not going back to no spirit realm of ghosts. Right? When I die, I want to return directly to God and never to come back on this world. Never to come back on this earth. And I want that for everybody else too. I want that for everybody else too. Stop forcing people to bow to X, Y, Z. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're brown. I don't care if you're Chinese. I don't bow to ethnicity and race is the worst flipping thing to bow to. Ethnicity and race and any of these agendas is the worst flipping thing to bow to. All I do is to help people to improve their life, the daily life, right? Whether you're in Islam, you're not Islam, you're whatever, you're a teacher, you're a student, right? All I'm trying to do is to help people to improve their daily life, right? Stop trying to torment people and make people bow, 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 bow. To what? For what? Why? You know somebody is monotheist. You know somebody teaching the knowledge structure of monotheism. Why would you intentionally, day and night, be torturing people to the extent that you're using technology to pull down the head, right? To bow. That's the extent. Using nanotechnology, right? Technology, you know, it's nanoparticles. Particles so small that you can't even see it, right? And a bunch it up inside you, right? And then make you pull on your head. Bow to this. Bow to that, right? Even if you don't want to do it. I don't do them thing. I don't subscribe to that. So once you are teaching the Quran, you see me teaching the Quran, right? And I will stop, not because I am, not because I revert into polytheism. I'll stop because my duty has been complete after the next couple months or so, month and a half. Right? I'll stop not because I went back to polytheism because that's not why I ever want to do. Right? I'll never go back to polytheism. I said that in my video yesterday. Something you'll never return to. That's what I meant. Right? I'll never return. I'll never go back to that space. Right? I'll never go back to that space in which you're worshiping your partner. Right? Your worship of your partner is wrong. Right? You respect and adore and love your partner, but you never worship your partner. Respect, adore, appreciate your partner, but you never worship your partner. Right? That is essentially what monotheism is, because worship is only for God, right? So when you worship God alone, that makes things right between you and your partner, right? It has nothing else beyond that. So you do it, so bowing to your partner is wrong, right? Because you see your partner as God, and that's not right. Right? Good.